Well, hey, thanks for stopping by and welcome. I am back in my corner. It's been a while, and that's because we moved. Now, we've been in our house for about 3 months, maybe? But it took a while getting situated, and then we had traveling that we had to do and stuff for my husband's work and birthday parties. My nephew's birthday party, he turned 2, which is shocking to me. It's not possible that he's 2. My son turned 12, my daughter turned 5, and it's just been crazy. And to be honest, I got a little bummed out with this whole filming thing because I sat down and rewatched my videos and I was pretty bored with it, minus the one I did with my daughter. That was fun. But the other ones, I'm just kind of like, I don't know. They didn't feel right. And they didn't really feel right filming either. I was also nervous. But in this video, I am going to talk about how I'm going to change directions a little bit. So I hope you'll hang out with me and kind of hear me out on the direction I've decided to go. I was sitting there thinking about what I wanted to do with the direction of my videos and my channel. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to stick with a makeup-based channel because I love makeup. But when I was doing research and preparation for the videos that I was getting ready to film, it was hard. And we have the money to be able to fund the purchases of the makeup videos, but I wasn't wanting to spend that much money on this stuff. And I can't keep up with all the new things coming out constantly, left and right. And if you're not reviewing or trying the newest, latest, greatest thing that everybody wants to know about, it's like nobody's interested. And that wasn't what I wanted. I really wanted to focus on beauty as a whole and not necessarily the makeup as part of the beauty. I'm trying to instill in my daughter that makeup isn't what makes you beautiful. You can have all the expensive makeup in the world, but if you're not beautiful on the inside, then no amount of makeup, no matter how much it costs, is going to make you pretty on the outside. And every day I tell her she's the most beautiful girl I know. And she smiles, and I want her to know that. And I love watching these beauty YouTubers. I watch a lot of them. I have my favorites, and they do an amazing job. And I just feel like everybody wants to be a beauty influencer. I commend them, and I mean, who wouldn't want that? That seems like a lot of fun, and that the recognition for your talent and stuff like that, that's a big deal. So, I mean, I get it. But we're growing up in a day, and my children are growing up in a day where everything is instant gratification. Like, there's no work ethic towards things. I wanted to change things so that I could try to influence in a different way. I'm going to be doing videos about things that I've dealt with in my life. Just things that interest me and things that I may rant about. I wouldn't say rant because I'm not going to be one of those channels. But I'm still going to be doing makeup. I'll still do my makeup on camera every now and then. And if there's a product out that I really like, I'll talk about it and stuff like that. But these girls that are in school now, they're school age, and like my daughter and generations moving forward, I don't want them to feel like just because they don't have all of these fancy makeup brushes or these fancy makeup palettes that they're not good enough or they're not as good as the people that they're watching. I just feel like it's all setting a really bad precedence to females and young girls. And I want my content to be something that somebody can look at and be like, wow, I feel like that too. Or I feel like she understands, because I've been through a lot of crap. I have been through a lot. And we have this public platform where so many people can see these things. And if one of my videos can reach out and touch one person to change them, to redirect their thoughts, to make them feel better, or to see that they matter and that they're worth more than they may be feeling, that's huge to me. Because I've dealt with ridicule, I've dealt with bullies, I've dealt with a bunch of stuff. And through the videos that I'm going to film now and in the future, you'll understand a little bit better. But the one that I'm going off of today is appearance. Not everything is as it seems all the time. So when I was 18, I got pregnant with my son. I was younger. I wasn't married. And my pregnancy was pretty normal, didn't have any issues. And then after he was born, I found out that I had cervical cancer. It was HPV negative, it was hormone driven, and it was a shock. But if it wasn't for the birth of my son, I don't think I would have found it right away, because I wasn't one to go to the doctor. So I really think that he saved my life in a sense, but even still to this day, he saves my life daily, because I can't imagine my life without him. But he's his own story, and I'll get into that in another video. But so that started the roller coaster of my health. And I had surgery, and I started being treated, and I got really sick really quick. And I was young, and I didn't really have a positive outlook on things. I mean, I did, because I just had my son, but I was young, and I was just like, this sucks. This is so, why me? I didn't really have anything to hold on to in the grand scheme of things. And I had surgery after surgery, treatment after treatment, and finally I was clean. I was clear of it. And I saw that light, and I was so thankful. And it came back again about 2 years later. So I went through the whole thing again. And my whole life, I've never really been a big person. I've always been skinny. And I always heard growing up, you're so skinny. Gosh, you're so tiny. You're so lucky. You must have a high metabolism. And I just kind of laugh and nod and agree. And yeah, it is. And I'm glad. I'm thankful. Yeah. But inside, people didn't understand what was going on and the things that I was dealing with. Fast forward to 7 years ago, when I met my now husband. Met him in church, and we hit it off. We fell in love. We got engaged. We got married. And right after getting married, I had gone to the doctor for my normal pap smear and all that fun stuff. And they did my blood work, and unfortunately, it started showing back up again. And I was like, gosh, I don't want to go through this again, but I had faith that it wasn't a big deal. And So I was like, okay, well, whatever. I've done this. I can do it. My doctor straight looked at me and was like, I'm going to give you 6 months to have a baby. So I know you just got married. I'm going to give you 6 months. And I'm like, oh gosh. Okay. So I felt the pressure and I was scared. But I went home and told my husband, and I was like, but we can do this. 6 months goes by and I never got pregnant. And I was so scared because I was getting ready for pre-op and everything and going for the testing, and found out at the last minute that I was pregnant. And dealt with all that, went through my pregnancy. We had a lot of issues with my pregnancy, and I'll do my daughter's story on another video also. But afterwards, my doctor was like, okay, it's time that we do the hysterectomy. So we did the hysterectomy. I almost died after surgery. I was past the recovery room in my hospital room, and I couldn't wake up. I could hear what was going on, but I couldn't wake up. I could hear that my husband kept trying to wake me up. He kept telling the nurses something was wrong. And then all of a sudden, I heard, well, we're calling her doctor. She needs to go back to surgery. Something's wrong. And it was like a split second and my doctor was there. They rushed me back to surgery and opened me back up, and I had 3 bleeders, and they fixed it. They sutured me back up, and I ended up having to have 2 blood transfusions, which was fun. You never think about blood going in because you always have blood taken. And it's a weird thing, but it's a good thing that it's available because it saved me. And everything was good. So I was in the hospital a little bit longer than I should have, but I got to go home. And nobody really told me what to expect post hysterectomy. I knew that I was going to have some hormone issues. I knew that I was going to have some fluctuations there because I was young and my body was nowhere near ready for menopause. So it was like a shock to my system. And from the trauma of the blood loss and the bleeders and stuff like that, my body was trying to recover. And I completely lost my appetite. I would try to force myself to eat, and I just couldn't. Like, it would make me sick. So my already skinny physique started getting skinnier. And at the worst point, I think my lowest weight was 80 pounds. And I'm short. I'm only 5 foot. But 80 pounds is really little. And I was well aware of how little I was. But I was a part of my praise band at church. And I loved it. I loved getting up there and singing and being up there. And as I started to lose weight, I started noticing the looks and the whispers and the questions being asked behind my back, and the not so frequent questions to me of, are you feeling okay? And how are you doing? And is there anything we can do? And that was always really sweet. I knew it was heartfelt and they cared. And then I started losing more weight, and then more questions that were directed to my mom, like, is she sick? Like, is there something going on? Is she bulimic? And I was just beside myself. I'm like, why would you think that that would be the type of question to ask, knowing everything that I had been through? So I was like, whatever. And then I continued to lose weight. And trust me, I was aware of how little I was. I was so self-conscious. I was scared to look in the mirror. I just didn't feel normal. I didn't feel human. And then I stopped singing in the praise band because I didn't want all those eyes on me, feeling the way that I felt, looking the way that I looked. And so then it just got worse. I had people coming up to me going, honey, you look so bad. Like, I mean, you should start eating more, and you're so skinny. And it got to the point where I literally wanted to look at them and be like, nope, I just stopped eating. I gave up on it. It wasn't fun anymore. Or, oh, I'm skinny. Oh my gosh, what happened? I didn't even know that. Like, I'm not stupid. And it wasn't like I wasn't eating or that I was trying to lose this weight. And I've had conversations like this with people, and they kind of just roll their eyes at me like, oh gosh, I'm sorry you're skinny. But just like somebody who struggles to lose weight, I was in that same struggle to gain weight. And people looked at me like, why is that a problem? But on the same token, saying, you look sick, like you look horrible. So I stopped going to that church. I didn't go anymore. And I dealt with my demons, my fight, my struggle on my own at home. And I did everything I could to gain weight. Everything I could think of. I was eating constantly. And I didn't like going out of the house. I didn't like being in normal clothes like jeans or dresses or skirts because nothing fit me, and I was embarrassed by it. And like this whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, why would someone feel like it was okay to go up to me, or anybody for that matter, and say the things that they said? Out of love and concern is one thing, like, gosh, is there anything I can do? Are you doing okay? That's fine. But oh my gosh, you're so skinny and you look awful. Do you even eat? That's unacceptable, and it's not necessary, because you wouldn't go up to somebody who's overweight and go, wow, you're really fat. I mean, do you ever stop eating? Like, who does that? I don't think anybody does that. And if they do, they should really reevaluate them as a person, because that is so wrong. I'm just tired of people thinking that they have a right to comment on your life and the things that you're going through when they don't know the whole story. So here we are 7 years later, and I'm finally putting weight on. My lowest was 80 pounds, and I'm finally back up to 114. And I have never been happier. I eat like you haven't seen somebody eat before. Like it's my last day on earth, and I want to make sure I get everything. So I am finally at a place with my health where I'm not having issues. My weight is finally where I want it to be. And I'm still putting weight on because I have a weight in mind, and I'm finally getting there, and my self-consciousness is gone because I'm at a point where I don't care anymore. I don't care what this person or that person has to say, because I feel beautiful. I love myself, and I could care less what anybody else has to think anymore. And the moral of all of this is we have to get to a point where we encourage those around us, where we tell them that they're beautiful when they're sitting there with their head down going, gosh, I look horrible, or anything. Like, we shouldn't be tearing people down, especially females. I don't have a lot of girlfriends because of that reason. Females are mean. Like, they're mean to each other, and I don't get it. Like, we are the same sex. We go through a lot of the same things. So why would you be so hard on somebody when you know how it feels for somebody to be that way to you? So I'm trying, especially with my daughter, I want her to know that no matter what anybody says, it doesn't matter. Only thing that matters is how she feels. And if she feels beautiful without makeup, then she feels beautiful without makeup. If she feels beautiful with a face full of makeup, with horrible blending and gaudy colors and the wrong shade of lipstick, then so be it. That's what makes her feel beautiful. Who are we to say any different? We're not. And I just want there to be common ground. We should be putting our hands out and saying, let me help you. How can I make this better for you? Do you need a friend? Do you need somebody to talk to? Because I wish I had that for me from those people instead of the hateful, mean words and comments. It would have changed the whole thing. But you live and you learn, and you learn to love yourself. And I don't wear makeup every day anymore. I stopped buying all of the makeup and the makeup brushes and stuff like that because I'm like, what am I doing? Like, is this really the direction I want to go? And it wasn't. So I'm reevaluating. And like I said, I'm still going to do makeup-based videos. And I'm sorry if this video was all over the place and it's just like, oh, what was that for? What was that? But the content's going to get better. And I'm going to do funny things. I'm going to do silly things. And I'm going to do serious things too. I want it to be about everything. Everything that is dealt with every day. But I want it to be fun and crazy and silly too. So I still need your input and what are videos that you want to see, a topic that you want to hear addressed, something that you want talked about, or something you want me to touch on. Because like I said, I've been through a bunch, and eventually, as time goes on, I'll go into that stuff. Because like I said, if there's somebody out there that I can touch by being a common ground for them and encouraging them because they feel like they're not alone anymore, then that's what I want. I want to be able to look back and say, I made a difference in at least one person's life. So if you want to help me and be supportive and encouraging to those that are around us and those that aren't around us, I want you to be part of it with me. So I encourage you to subscribe and hit the thumbs up. I am not going to push for that every video. I'm not going to be like, subscribe, thumbs up, because that's up to you. I'm not doing this to be famous. I'm not doing this to get recognition. I am doing this because I have a voice and I have a platform, and I'm going to use it. And that's what it's here for, and I'm thankful for that. So you won't hear that every video. But thank you for sticking around and listening to me ramble, which is exactly what this was. There was a point, and I hope you got it. But like I said, there's going to be other videos, and there's going to be fun videos, and I have one coming up soon with my best friend, and it's going to be hilarious. And I can't wait. I can't wait to show you guys what I've got moving forward, and I hope you'll be around with me and grow with me while we do this. So thanks for sticking around, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, guys.